What are some practical like things or steps to be more emotionally open to the right people?
In my coaching, I rediscovered what my friend would call my own inner champion, my own inner hero. I struggled with alcoholism and in and out of AA and all that till I got to the Caring Treatment Center for 30 years, over 30 years. What I discovered is that inside of me, I had this good, solid person that would never allow me to give up. Why did I keep coming back, looking for hope, looking for answers for 30 years? That's my entire adult life, but something would never let me give up. And I rediscovered, I think that person was in me since the day I was born, this kind of good, solid inner champion, if you will. As my alcoholism became very active, which for me was in my mid-30s, I lost touch with that person. And here I am at this point in life, having rediscovered him. So, the example I give to everybody today, when I roll out of bed in the morning, my feet hit the floor with a thump, and I kind of spring up and welcome the day. In days past, my feet would hit the floor with a thud, kind of my head down, like, how am I going to get through today? Trudging that, terrible destiny. Not anymore. Not anymore. Now, do I still have my days and my moments? Of course I do, like anybody else. But my optimism about what the day could hold for me, my belief in Bob Wick, and am I good enough, strong enough? The old Saturday Night Gilda Radner, am I good enough, strong enough? Do people really like me? Yeah, I am good enough. I am strong enough. And I know who my real friends are today. And it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. I still have my flaws. I still have to deal with pride and ego like anyone else. But I think the gift today is I'm much more conscious of it. At the end of the day, when I put my head down on the pillow and reflect on the day, there's very few that go by where I can't recall a moment where I was of help to somebody else, whether that was in person, on the phone, even if it's just a text or an email.
Yeah.
But I try to do something every day to be of help to somebody else. Because over those 30 years, there are a lot of people that were there to help Bob Wick.
You share a lot about like rewiring your brain.
Yeah.
You also are of service a lot today, whether it's holding the door open for someone or,
Yeah.
What even allows you to pay attention to the good things that you're doing?
That's an important point, what you just said. People thinking, what other people thinking about us. One of our alumni, Karen alumni, says this all the time in open meetings. We were housemates together when we were active patients at Karen. And we were in a home together with other patients living there. We'd go to therapy or whatever during the day, and then at night stay in this house. And one day, his name is Reed. One day I turned to Reed and I said, Reed, and I don't recall this, but he recalls it. I turned to him and said, what other people think of us is none of our damn business. None of our business. And he'll repeat that all the time. And I don't know if I believed it at the time when I said it to him, but I do now. What other people think of me truly isn't any of my business. And if worrying about what other people might think of me because of what I'm going to do or say, I'm being false. I'm not being genuine. And I'm in a place now with myself and my recovery that I want to be as genuine as I possibly can be. Will that always go over well with everybody? Absolutely not. But ask me if I truly give a rat's ass? No. I don't want to be offensive. I don't want to be rude. But if somebody doesn't really warm up to my personality or what I'm saying in any different moment, that's okay. That's part of life. Not everybody's going to love us. But there's not a day that goes by that at the end of the day, I consciously put my head back, close my eyes, and say, how did your day really go today? And what's that moment where you help somebody? And that's become habit with me.
That's pretty big, it being a habit, right? Because there's so many like bad habits, I feel like, that many people have, pins. So how do you like get rid of the bad ones, or do you just make more good habits? Both, like
that's back to what I talk about, this neurotransformative brain coaching and what I've learned. Your brain can be rewired. You can create new, what they call neural pathways. But I think it's as simple as if you keep filling your brain with positive thoughts, maybe thoughts that are around self-affirmation, that you are a good person, that you are giving life, it's your very best effort. Keep talking to yourself like that. That self-talk in your brain, and I believe we all have an inner voice that talks to us, Sergio. And sometimes that inner voice will say, you're just a knucklehead. You could do better. You don't look very good. You don't sound. It can get pretty negative, that inner voice. It can get pretty heavy. And I think there's probably a lot of examples that the proper doctors could show us where that inner voice is taking people down, right? I remember reading a pretty heavy article of what people in the medical community, specific ones, thought took down Robin Williams at the end of the day. What caused this effervescent personality to kill himself? And so what I've learned and what other people in the medical profession will tell you, if you change your own self-talk, what you're saying to yourself, to enough positive things, I think your brain automatically rewires itself. So the talk that I hear from my brain in my head today, vast majority of the time is very positive. Because, Bob, you can do this. You are a good person. Don't hold back. Yeah, you're thinking about calling that person up? Get off your ass and call them right this minute. Don't keep saying that till 5 o'clock tonight. Do it right now. And so what I hear from my own head today is completely different than what it used to be. But there was a hell of a price paid for that. But today I am living a life of sobriety. I never say I'm recovered. I am in recovery. I have the disease of addiction, alcoholism in my brain. It's always going to be there. But that's fine with me. I'm aware of it now. And I've come to learn it's manageable.
Good.
There's poor people that have terminal illnesses, diseases, cancer, whatever, that there's nothing you can do about it. Mine is pretty manageable.
So if someone's going through what you once went through, what's the first thing you'd want them to hear?
I say it all the time. Never, never, never give up. Not never give up, not never, never give up. 3 times. Never, never, never give up. I saw that. That's a quote from Winston Churchill. How many years ago? Back in the, I guess, 1940s at some time. But somewhere along the line, that became my motto to myself. Never, never, never give up. A new method of coaching, working one-on-one with people, neurotransformative brain coaching. A lot of people, what the hell is that all about? And I've had my moments of doubt. Am I the right person? And then I look at the impact I've had on some people's lives or what other people have told me. And I remind myself, Bob, you can never, never, never give up on this effort. Now that I've started, I can never give up. And at 72, this is the balance of my life. This is what I'm going to be doing going forward. Sharing my life with my fiance. But I have to have my own sense of purpose. And it's being of help to other people like me that have never given up, that can't quite seem to figure out how to stay clean and sober, but they haven't given up. They haven't given up trying to find out how. And those are the people whose lives I think I can really make a positive difference on.
What's something you wish more people understood about success or healing?
I would say striving for success, or the ability to heal on your own, heal your own addictive behavior. Well, this is purely based on the life I have lived, is you have to keep believing in yourself and that you have the ability to live a life that's clean and sober, or you have the ability to overcome whatever addiction it might be that you're struggling with, whether that's gambling, sex, whatever it might be, until you honestly believe in yourself and that you're a valuable, worthwhile person. I don't think all the positive reinforcement you get from the outside from other people will ultimately do it. I think it will give you short-term relief. But for me, I had to get to the point where I believed in Bob Wick. I could look back and say, yeah, 30 years you've never given up. You might not be there yet. You might still have some work to do. But look at yourself. What do you see? You're not a quitter. You're a winner who hasn't given up. The road forwards that way. And there is hope. You have to believe that hope exists. And I think for a lot of us in active addiction, that's what we're searching for. I need a sense of hope that I can get this. I can get through this.
What do you think is the number one thing holding people back in active addiction from getting help?
Fear.
Of what?
Like fear of their own behavior. If they've been in a repetitive series of recovery for a while, if they've kept relapsing, that based on my own behavior, can I really ever get this? Look at the life I live. I keep trying and trying and trying, and I don't get it. And I think what's missing is that sense of hope. That sense of hope. I got that sense of hope through the coaching work that I was involved in. When I rediscovered who I really was inside, that for me was my moment of hope. Bob, there is this inner champion, there is this inner hero that's kept you moving forward your entire life. For 30 years, never giving up on trying to live a sober life and figure out how to continue. So I wish there was a simple answer to that question, but it's belief in yourself and realizing that there is hope. But for me to get that hope, I had to understand that that hope wasn't going to be found by myself inside of Bob Wick, that I needed to reach out to somebody else and be completely open and honest.
What's the importance of even having someone else, a coach or someone by your side? I mean, why can't you just tell me what to do and I'll do it myself?
I learned my experience, those 1.5-hour weekly sessions I had with the coach, the questions he had were scripted. They weren't made up on the spot. I mean, I have a complete binder in my office at home of questions that I go through with somebody, depending on where they are specifically in their recovery process, whether they're brand new, whether they've been trying to recover for years, whether it's, cocaine, marijuana, alcohol. But I think what he knew at the time, with the right questions posed to me, so I had all the answers inside of me all along. And I have found that with other people. A lot of what I was looking for, I had the answers inside. I just didn't know how to bring them out. So prompted with the right questions, a lot came out of me. I mean, I talk 95% of the time in 1.5-hour coaching sessions weekly for 6 months. I carried around a lot inside of me. And at the end of every session, walking out, I knew I felt stronger. I felt a little lighter. Negative emotions, lighter, positive emotions, fuller. It's hard to describe, but the whole experience was very cathartic. But I think the true value of a meaningful coach is to help someone, one, bring definition to what they're struggling with, and two, how to look inside themselves to find a lot of the answers. Because if we find the answers inside ourselves, we'll believe them. We will believe them. And then how we think about ourselves, what that voice inside our head is now telling us, is, yeah, you are good enough. You are strong enough. You always have been. It was all inside of you. You just needed a way to bring it out. And now that you have, the life is yours. You can thrive instead of just trudging through the day. And damn, if there's not a big difference in that. A big difference.
Was there ever a point where you felt like giving up? And what pulled you back?
There were a lot of times when I was in recovery that I'd have, I want to call it a fleeting thought about giving up. But then I look when my alcoholism was active, there were periods of days and weeks and months where I was active. But at the end of the day, I never gave up. And what I've come to believe is the reason why I never gave up is all that time, and including this moment, God had his hand on my shoulder. I don't think God was going to let Bob Wick give up. I think God knew the person that was inside of me, because I believe God created me, so he knew all along kind of what he put inside this particular knucklehead. But he knew there was a good person there, and that in time, that person would come alive again but for whatever reason, and not for me to know the answer, I had to go through in life what I needed to go through to get to this very moment. But I can also tell you where I'm at 72 is a place beyond anything I ever imagined or dreamed. To be in love, to be engaged, to realize the rest of my life I will be spending with somebody who just brings so much meaning to me in my life, and that the majority of my time when I'm not with her will be spent helping other people perhaps go through the same neurorestorative transition that my brain went through. That fills me up. That lights me up. Yeah.